delicious things. Well, here we are, my hatsies, the second part of my two-part series of Oktoberfest food. We're making the luscious pork belly with dark beer sauce. Has a lot of flavor with a lot of vegetables, garlic, and of course the strong dark beer, which is going to evaporate when you cook with it, so it's safe for kids to eat. And it's tasting really nice with the dumplings that we made in the previous video. So you can find the recipes below in the info box. Leave me a thumbs up, comment me below, subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell for my next recipe, and let's get started.
Darlings, start by using a Stanley knife or a sharp knife and cut some stripes into the pork belly. Then we're wiping our pork belly down so all the moisture is gone, and season it with salt pretty heavy because we want to take the moisture all of the pork skin. And don't worry, you cannot use too much salt because later we wipe it off. Make sure you really massage it in. Let it rest in the fridge for 1 or 2 days uncovered, and you will see this takes the moisture out. Take your pork bones and roast them in the oven for about 30 minutes so we get a nice roast aroma for the sauce. Take your washed root vegetables and just cut them into chunks. If you don't have the celery root, just use the regular celery that you can find in the store. Here I'm cutting my carrot also into chunks. My leek and my garlic cloves, also just leave the skin on. The same with the onion. The onion skin helps even the sauce to get a nice color. Then with a little oil, I saute the onions first to get a little color, and then afterwards I add my root vegetables and saute them also a little bit to get some color. Then I'm adding my tomato paste, and that's important because tomato paste would be bitter if I do not roast it in the pan. Then my ground black pepper, season it, and the caraway seeds. Let it roast for 30 seconds, and then we're adding our dark beer and our agave nectar and the bay leaves. Give it a quick stir and fill it with chicken or beef broth, seasoning with salt. Add your roasted pork bones. Add a lid and let it softly cook for about an hour. As you can see, the pork belly after 1 or 2 days has really some moisture through the salt, and we need to wipe all this down because that will help to crisp up the pork belly. Add a little oil, massage it into the skin. And season it again with salt. I know it seems like a lot of salt, but we just took all the salt off when we wiped it off. Season it with black ground pepper. Turn it around, and as you can see on the bottom there is a lot of moisture as well, and it's important to pick all that up before we continue with our pork belly. Season the meat with salt and pepper. And then we're leaving our pork belly like this, and add a parchment paper and something to weigh the pork belly down. Now this is the trick to really get a crisp pork belly. After about an hour, we're taking out our pork belly, turning it around, and crisp it up on a high heat oven about for 10 minutes. Keep an eye on it so you won't burn it. In the meanwhile, we're giving our sauce through a sieve. It smells amazing. And squeezing our vegetables a little bit just to take the flavor into the sauce. With a little bit of salt water or salt and beer, we're basting our pork belly just to help it crisp up even more. Like I said, 10 minutes should be about the timing for crisping up that skin. Oregano and starch water we're adding to our sauce to finish it up. And the sauce is ready. And now listen. Absolutely crispy pork belly with no chewy bits. The meat is juicy and the knife runs like butter through it. Thanks so much for watching, darlings.